the magic word. Here in the secret kindergarten, the world's best show for kids is starting. The secret kindergarten radio show. Use your ears and your imagination. We're going to play, we're having fun. The magic secret kindergarten on the Revolution radio station.
Hello and welcome back to the Secret Kindergarten. I'm your host and best buddy Gino. And today where you are, it might be August the 24th. And on August the 24th, Manly P. Hall has something like this to tell us. We may well say that knowledge is gathered from contact with external sources of information, but that true wisdom comes only from within. So that's why you got to believe in yourself and trust in yourself. And don't let those naughty grown-ups stop you. And where I am living, it's August the 25th. And Manly P. Hall has this to say as advice for today. There must be something wrong about a personal code if the individual who lives it must seek help periodically from others. So, that's for all you parents out there. If the kids keep coming and asking you for help all the time, well, something's not quite right because they got to believe in themselves. It's time to put our thinking caps on. It's Problem Situations time. Brought to you by the Seagull. Problem situation number 1. You're in the car. Your dad is driving. And you hear this. What's happening? Oh my gosh, is your dad asleep at the wheel? What do you do? How would you feel? I hope you figure out a way to get out of that situation. That's a real problem situation, everybody. Alright, problem situation number 2. You're in the park. You lost your mum. You don't know where she is. What do you do? How would you feel? You are riding your tricycle or your bicycle down the street. A man comes up to you and says, "Hello, where do you live?" What do you do? What would you say? How would you feel? Great answers. I love it. I love it. Okay, one more. You are playing outside on the grass in your bare feet, of course, and you step on a bee and you get a bee sting. Ah! What should you do? What choices do you have? We love bees, don't we? It's time to sit back and relax just for 1 minute. Close your eyes. And let's be honest. You are brave. You are smart. You are important. You are creative. You are valued. Today you will shine. Your future is bright. You'll make a positive impact on the world. You're a wonderful human being. People around you are blessed to have you in their lives. You're a natural winner. The world is full of endless possibilities. Okay? It's time to talk about bees because we're running out of time. This is from a book called Bees. Honey, stomach. Worker bees use their flexible tongue to remove nectar from flowers. Honeybees have powerful sucking muscles in their throat. They store the nectar in a special sac in their abdomen. The sac is called a honey stomach or crop. It can expand greatly to contain a lot of nectar. Honeybees also collect and eat pollen. Pollen contains many nutrients that are good for bees. Honeybees have their own shopping baskets called pollen baskets attached to their hind legs. The bee uses bristles on its other legs to comb pollen into the baskets. When the pollen baskets are bulging to the brim, the worker returns to the hive. A food-finding honeybee sits between 50 and 1,000 flowers a day. Visits that many flowers. Let's dance. What is the first thing a worker does after returning to the hive with a belly full of nectar and full pollen baskets? It does a dance. The dance tells other workers where to go to find the nectar and pollen. Workers gather around the dancer and follow the bee's movements with their antennas. The dancing bee runs around in tight figure eights and shakes or waggles its abdomen. That tells the other food collecting bees the direction of and the distance to the flowers. Other bees then make a beeline for the flowers. Bees returning to the hive cough up or regurgitate partly digested nectar into cells. Water in the nectar evaporates or turns to gas. That thickens the nectar, turning it into honey. Sometimes workers flap their wings over the liquid to quicken the honey-making process. When a cell is full of honey, it is sealed or capped with beeswax. What a magical little buzzy bee. Bees, 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 bees. I'm going to read you a story now. All right. From the Brothers Grimm. Page 100. Page 100? Page 443. Let's see. That's all the pages turning. 443. Dr. Know-It-All. Are you ready for Dr. Know-It-All? Okay, here we go. Once upon a time, there was a poor farmer named Crab who drove a cord of wood into town with his 2 oxen and sold the wood to a doctor for 2 gold coins. When the farmer went inside to get his money, the doctor was just about to sit down to dinner. And the farmer admired the fine food and drink at the doctor's table. His heart yearned for something like that, and he thought how nice it would be if he were a doctor. He lingered there a while and finally asked if it was possible for someone like him to become a doctor. "Of course," said the doctor. "There's not much to it." "What do I have to do?" asked the farmer. "First, you must buy yourself an ABC book. The kind with the picture of a rooster in it. Second, you must get cash for your wagon and 2 oxen to purchase some clothes and other things that doctors tend to need. Third, you must have a sign painted with the words, 'I am Dr. Know-It-All,' and nail it above your front door." The farmer did everything he was told, and when he had doctored for some time, but not very long, a rich and mighty nobleman was robbed of some money, and he heard about Dr. Know-It-All, who was living in such and such a village, and would probably know what had become of the money. So the nobleman had his carriage hitched up, drove out to the village, and inquired at the farmer's house whether he was Dr. Know-It-All. "Yes, that was he," the farmer responded. Then the nobleman requested that he return with him and help him get back his stolen money. The farmer agreed, but added that Greta, his wife, had to come along too. The nobleman gave his approval, offered them both a seat in his carriage, and they drove off together. When they came to the nobleman's mansion, the table was already set, and Dr. Know-It-All was to eat with the Lord. But he wanted his wife, Greta, to eat with them too. So they all sat down together at the table. Now, when the first servant arrived with a dish of delicious food, the farmer nudged his wife and said, "Greta." That was the first. And he meant that was the man with the first course. But the servant thought he meant, "That's the first thief." And since he really was the thief, he got scared and went out to tell his accomplices. "The doctor knows everything. There's trouble ahead. He said I was the first." The second servant did not even want to go in, but he had no choice. Then he entered with his dish. The farmer nudged his wife and said, "Greta, that's the second." This servant too got scared and hurried out. The third fared no better. Again the farmer said, "Greta, that's the third." The fourth had to carry in a covered dish. And the nobleman asked the doctor to demonstrate his skill, and guess what lay under the cover? Funnily enough, crabs were being served. And when the farmer looked at the dish, he was at a loss for words. "Poor crab," he finally cried. When the nobleman heard that, he exclaimed, "There, he knows! I'm sure he must know who has the money." The servant was frightened to death and winked at the doctor to step outside for a moment. When he got outside, all 4 servants confessed to him that they had stolen the money. They proposed that he take charge of it and offered a large sum in addition if he would not expose them. Otherwise, they would soon be dangling from the gallows. Then they led him to the place where they had hidden the money. The doctor was satisfied, went back inside, sat down at the table and said, "Sir, now I intend to look in my book to see where the money's been hidden." In the meantime, the 5th servant had crawled into the stove to see if he could hear what else the doctor knew. As the doctor sat there at the table, he opened his ABC book and turned the pages back and forth looking for the rooster. Since he could not find it right away, he said, "I know you're there. I'm bound to find you." The servant in the stove thought that the doctor was talking about him, and he jumped out of the stove in fright and said, "That man knows everything." Then Dr. Know-it-all showed the nobleman where the money was, but he did not reveal who had stolen it. As a reward, he received money from both sides and became a famous man. So there you go. That's all you got to do to be a doctor. Oh. So, Farmer Crab became famous doing what he really wanted to do, and he believed in himself. Well, let's have a little look at this group activity called If I Were Famous. And why is it a group activity? Because anyone can do it, any age, okay? This is a way of identifying long-term goals. It could be done as a newspaper article. Think up the headline first and then fill in the details, being as descriptive and precise as possible. And obviously, if you can't write, well, someone can help you with that. Or you can just draw a picture of what you would like to be famous for. So all you got to do is complete this sentence. I would like to be famous for... For what? You tell me. Do you know what famous means? It really just means what you want to be known for. So I'll tell you, I would like to be famous for the Secret Kindergarten Radio Show, because I want all the kids to get what they need. And I want all kids out there to have a friend. And I want all the kids out there to feel connected to something. So that's what I would like to be famous for. How about you? Have a little think for a moment. Did a grown-up say you're not allowed to do that? Well, you tell me who they are and I'll go and smack their bottom for you. I would love to see you become famous for that, and I believe in you, and I know you can do it. We're coming up to the bottom of the hour. Now, if you would like to listen to any other episodes, you can find the Secret Kindergarten Radio Show, the best radio show in the world, right here on Revolution Radio in the archives. You can also find it on all the podcast platforms. You name it, it's there. You can also tap into the episodes on YouTube. There is some video accompanying that, but I think it's great to just listen to. That's why it's a radio show. And for all you parents out there, you can check out my other work and my other stuff on thesecretkindergarten.com, and you have access to everything anyway. So all the podcast episodes are there. You can pick up on stories and stuff like that. And there are links to services that I provide for donations. And that's about it. And coming up next, in the second installment of the Secret Kindergarten radio show, well, is for grown-ups. We dive in talking about the activity of the day, which is the I would like to be famous. The if I were famous activity. Thanks so much for tuning in. I love you. Bye.